Patek Philippe makes the ultimate sports watch. Patek Philippe is a household name within the luxury watch industry. If you don't know Patek, you should skip this video and do some research on the brand, because the brand is more exclusive compared to Rolex. Regarding pieces they make per year, we're looking at around 50 to 70,000 pieces compared to Rolex that makes 1 million. It's even harder to get a steel sports watch at an authorized dealer. Patek Philippe is a household name for complications, considering their perpetual calendar chronographs and more flyback chronographs, minute repeaters. These are among watches that most collectors would consider a Grail watch. Today we're going to talk about 3 of my current favorite Patek Philippe sports watches, and one that probably you would not consider a sports watch. The Grail among sports watches, the Patek Philippe Nautilus 5740G. This is the holy grail of a sports watch. I have to say this here on record, I'm not a big fan of the Nautilus as such. However, this watch, with its perpetual calendar, a beautiful blue dial, and a case thickness of just little over 8.4 millimeters. This is insane, and this watch feels so good on the wrist. This watch is so iconic, so incredible, that even Bernard Arnault, the boss of LVMH, had one made for him with a Tiffany blue dial. This grand complication, Nautilus by Patek, is among the thinnest perpetual calendars Patek Philippe has to offer. In the 40mm Nautilus case, as a sports watch in white gold, even with 60 meters of water resistance. Not bad. This is the holy grail of sports watches, and therefore probably the best sports watch money can buy. Now let's move on to the second watch. Within the Patek lineup, there is another model that is very significant of being a sports watch, namely the Aquanaut. And while many consider the 5167 their holy grail of sports watches, which is the time-only piece and also the entry-level model within the sports watch range of Patek, my eye is on the 5164 Aquanaut Travel Time. I like this watch because of its mechanism of having a second time zone, and I travel a lot, and therefore I frequently have the need for a second time zone. The plain 5167 is plain, while the 5164 has a little bit more character. The watch is also 120 meters water resistant and is slightly thicker compared to the 5167 with 10 millimeters thickness. Super slim, having the same case diameter of 40 millimeters, and therefore still a very great watch. With one key aspect why I'd consider this being my favorite sports watch of the Patek Philippe lineup, it's simply because I can change the strap. The third and last watch is a little bit of an oddball. A lot of you know Patek for their chronographs, for their complications, for their Worldtimers or their perpetual calendars. And this watch is a little bit of both worlds. It's the 5935, one of the newer watches released in 2022. It is a stainless steel Patek Philippe Worldtimer with a flyback chronograph and a beautiful salmon dial. And this is exactly the point I'm trying to make here. This watch has 2 fantastic complications in the flyback chronograph and a world time. So iconic complications for Patek Philippe. And this all encased in a stainless steel case. The watch has a diameter of 41 millimeters and is just shy under 13 millimeters thick. The watch is slightly too big for my wrist. This particular watch could be the next big thing. With the salmon dial, great complication that this watch has to offer, and all of this in a stainless steel package. Therefore, you can take this watch outside anywhere you want and use it. This is very significant of a sports watch. Thus, this watch only having a water resistancy of 30 meters. Nevertheless, this still is a very, very great watch. And this watch might even be a little bit more accessible at your authorized dealer. These are my 3 picks of Patek Philippe sports watches. Which is your favorite? And if the favorite is not among these 3, then put it in the comments down below. I'd like to know. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please do subscribe. And as always, if you feel like it, put a thumbs up. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.